Planning international travel after January 2026? A new passport rule for U.S. seniors is coming, and you'll want to know about it now to avoid any surprises at the airport. We'll explain the change and what you can do to be ready. If you find this helpful, please give the video a like. Planning your international travels is an exciting part of retirement, a time to finally take those dream trips you've worked so hard for. However, some significant changes to passport and travel regulations are set to take effect in January 2026 that could directly impact your plans. These aren't just minor updates, they are new rules that could lead to unexpected and stressful situations at the airport, potentially even denying you boarding. We want to ensure you are well prepared for these changes so your focus can remain on the joy of travel, not bureaucratic hurdles. In this video, we'll walk you through everything you need to know about these new regulations, from the full enforcement of the Real ID Act to the 6-month passport validity rule that catches so many travelers off guard. We'll also break down the new European Union entry requirements, the EES and ETIAS systems, that will change how you enter many popular European destinations. Understanding these new rules is crucial for any senior planning to travel abroad. While these changes are not directly issued by the Social Security Administration, being prepared for them is a key part of ensuring a worry-free retirement. After all, your peace of mind is paramount, and that includes both your financial security through Social Security and your freedom to explore the world. We'll provide clear, actionable steps you can take now to ensure your travel documents are in order, so you can look forward to your future adventures with confidence. All right. Let's dive right into the heart of what you need to know to keep your travel plans on track. We're going to break down these new and changing rules in a way that's easy to understand, so you can feel confident and prepared for your next adventure. The goal today isn't to scare you, but to empower you with knowledge. A secure retirement, which is what we focus on here, isn't just about financial peace of mind. It's also about having the freedom and confidence to enjoy the life you've built. And for many, that includes traveling the world. So let's make sure nothing gets in the way of that. First, let's talk about something that's not technically a new rule, but its enforcement is becoming much stricter, and it's catching even the most seasoned travelers off guard. We're talking about the 6-month passport validity rule. It sounds simple on the surface, but this one detail can bring your entire trip to a screeching halt before you even leave your home airport. Imagine this scenario. You and your spouse have been planning an anniversary cruise through the Mediterranean for months. You've booked the flights, the cruise itself, the shore excursions. You arrive at the airport, excited and ready to go. But when you hand over your passports at the check-in counter, the airline agent gives you a look of concern. They inform you that because your passport expires in 5 months, you cannot board the flight. Your trip is over before it even began. This isn't just a hypothetical situation. It happens to thousands of travelers every year. A staggering number of countries, well over 80 in fact, require that your U.S. passport be valid for a full 6 months beyond your intended date of departure from that country. So if you plan to leave Spain on March 15th, your passport cannot expire any time before September 15th of that same year. The reason for this rule is to protect both you and the destination country. It ensures that you have a valid, unexpired travel document for the entire duration of your stay and for a reasonable period afterward, preventing you from becoming stranded abroad with an expired passport, which can create a complicated and stressful diplomatic situation. While some countries, particularly in Europe's Schengen area, officially only require 3 months of validity beyond your departure, the 6-month rule has become the gold standard and the safest bet. Airlines are the primary enforcers of this rule because they face hefty fines if they transport a passenger who is later denied entry at the destination. Therefore, they will not risk it. They will deny you boarding right at the check-in counter. The most important action you can take, perhaps even today after watching this video, is to go and find your passport and look at the expiration date. A good rule of thumb is to start the renewal process when your passport has about 12 to 18 months of validity left. The processing times for renewals can vary dramatically, from a few weeks to several months, especially during peak travel seasons. Waiting until the last minute introduces unnecessary stress and could force you to pay exorbitant fees for expedited services that still might not get you your passport in time. Don't let a simple date on a document derail your dream vacation. Check it now, and if it's getting close, start that renewal process early. Now let's shift our focus from international rules to a major change happening right here at home that will impact all domestic air travel. I'm talking about the full enforcement of the Real ID Act. After numerous delays and extensions, the Department of Homeland Security is set to begin full enforcement on May 7, 2025. Starting on that day, every air traveler aged 18 and older will be required to present a Real ID-compliant driver's license or another acceptable form of identification to pass through airport security checkpoints for domestic flights. So, what exactly is a Real ID? It's a driver's license or state ID card that meets the federal government's minimum security standards. You can easily identify a Real ID-compliant card by looking for a star emblem in the upper portion of the card. It might be a gold or black star, sometimes inside a circle. If your license has this star, you're all set for domestic air travel. However, if it does not have the star, it is considered a non-compliant or standard license. After the May 2025 deadline, you will not be able to use a standard license to board a flight. This is particularly important for seniors who may have had the same driver's license for years and haven't needed to renew it recently. If you find that your license is not Real ID compliant, you have a few options. You could, of course, visit your state's Department of Motor Vehicles to obtain a Real ID, but this often requires gathering several documents like a birth certificate, social security card, and proof of residency. For many, a much simpler and more effective solution is to simply plan on using your U.S. passport for all air travel, both domestic and international. It's a single, universally accepted document that eliminates any confusion. Think of it as streamlining your travel process. By getting into the habit of always having your passport with you when you fly, you'll never have to worry about whether your ID will be accepted. A U.S. passport is, and will continue to be, the gold standard for travel identification. We've heard from many viewers, and if you have a story about this, please share it in the comments below, as your experience could certainly help someone else in the community. Next, we need to talk about some very significant changes for anyone planning a trip to Europe. The European Union is rolling out 2 new interconnected systems that will completely change how non-EU citizens, including Americans, enter and exit the 27 countries in the Schengen area. These are the Entry-Exit System, or EES, and the European Travel Information and Authorization System, or ETIAS. Let's begin with the EES, the Entry-Exit System, which is expected to become operational in the latter half of 2024 or early 2025. The EES is an automated, high-tech system that will replace the age-old tradition of manual passport stamping. Its purpose is to create a more efficient and secure border crossing process. When you arrive at an airport in, say, France or Italy, you will no longer hand your passport to a border guard for a physical stamp. Instead, you'll be directed to a self-service kiosk. At this kiosk, you will scan your own passport, and the machine will capture a facial image and a scan of your fingerprints. This biometric data is then used to create a digital record of your entry, linking it to your passport. When you leave the Schengen area, you'll go through a similar process to log your exit. This system automatically calculates the length of your stay, making it much easier for authorities to track who is in the zone and to identify anyone who has overstayed their permitted time, typically 90 days within any 180-day period. For seniors, especially those who may not feel entirely comfortable with new technology or who have mobility concerns that make standing at a kiosk challenging, this new process might sound a bit daunting. However, it's important to remember that airport staff and border officials will be on hand to provide assistance. Don't ever hesitate to ask for help. The key is to be aware that this change is coming, to anticipate a slight learning curve, and perhaps to allow a little extra time for navigating the airport on your first trip after it's implemented. Building on that system is the second major change, ETIAS, which stands for the European Travel Information and Authorization System. This is projected to launch a few months after the EES is smoothly running, likely in mid to late 2025 or early 2026. This is perhaps the most crucial part for you to plan for. ETIAS is a mandatory travel authorization for citizens of countries, like the United States, who can currently travel to the Schengen area visa-free. It is not a visa, but rather a pre-travel screening and authorization. You will need to apply for an ETIAS online before you travel. The application process will be done through an official website or a mobile app. You will need your valid passport, and you'll be asked to provide personal information, travel details, and answer a series of security and health-related questions. The fee for the application is expected to be quite small, around €7, and once your ETIAS authorization is approved, it will be valid for 3 years, or until your passport expires, whichever comes first. This is a critical point. Your approved ETIAS is electronically linked to the specific passport you used to apply. This means if you get a new passport for any reason, because it expired, was lost, or stolen, your ETIAS is no longer valid. You must apply for a new ETIAS using your new passport's information. Airlines will be required to verify that you have a valid ETIAS before you are allowed to board a flight to any of the participating European countries. Without it, you will be denied boarding. So, as you plan your future European getaways, you must add "Apply for ETIAS" to your pre-travel checklist. We hope you're finding this detailed breakdown useful. If you are, a quick tap on the like button is a wonderful and free way to help our channel reach and prepare more seniors just like you. Now, while these regulations aren't directly issued by the Social Security Administration, being prepared for them is a vital part of ensuring a secure and worry-free retirement. Your financial security through Social Security and your freedom to travel the world are two sides of the same coin. On that note, it's also wise to remember that if you are a U.S. citizen, you can generally continue to receive your Social Security payments while you are abroad. However, it's always a good practice to inform the Social Security Administration if you plan to be outside the United States for an extended period. More importantly, remember that your Medicare benefits typically do not cover health services you receive outside of the U.S. This makes purchasing a separate travel medical insurance policy an absolute necessity, not a luxury. It provides the peace of mind that if an unexpected health issue arises, you will be covered without facing catastrophic medical bills. To bring it all together, let's recap the essential action items. First, check your passport's expiration date today and plan to renew it if it has less than 18 months of validity remaining to avoid any issues with the 6-month rule. Second, for all domestic flights after May 7, 2025, ensure you have a real ID-compliant license or, even better, simplify your life by planning to use your passport for all air travel. And third, for future trips to Europe, be prepared for the new automated EES border kiosks, and remember that you will need to apply online for an ETIAS travel authorization before you go. We know this has been a lot of detailed information, but our goal is to ensure you feel like a confident, prepared world traveler. These new rules are not barriers. They are simply new processes to understand and navigate. By taking these steps, you can ensure your focus remains where it should be, on the joy, the discovery, and the unforgettable memories of your well-deserved travels. If you have any questions at all, please post them in the comments section below. We read them and will do our best to guide you. And please, be sure to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell. We're dedicated to bringing you clear, reliable information that helps you live your best retirement life. Safe travels. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to distill everything we've talked about into a simple, clear path forward. Our goal today wasn't to add to your worries, but to erase them by giving you the knowledge to travel with complete confidence. The world is out there waiting for you, and a few new rules shouldn't stand in the way of your adventures. The main thing to remember is to be proactive. First, make a habit of checking your passport's expiration date, ensuring you always have more than 6 months of validity for international trips. Second, be prepared for the real ID enforcement for domestic flights by either updating your license or simply deciding to use your passport for all air travel. And finally, for those unforgettable European holidays, keep the upcoming ETIAS online authorization on your pre-travel checklist. These changes are just new steps in the travel process, not barriers. By understanding them now, you've already done the most important work. You've empowered yourself to avoid any surprises at the airport, ensuring your journey begins smoothly and stress-free. We sincerely hope this guide has been valuable to you. If you found it helpful, giving this video a like is a great way to help others in our community find it too. And if any questions came to mind, please share them in the comments below. Your questions often help everyone. To stay ahead of future changes, be sure to subscribe for more updates tailored for a secure and enjoyable retirement. Thank you for watching, and here's to many safe and wonderful travels ahead.